Welcome to the Strong Back Nation podcast, where we talk trash, the good, bad, and the ugly. Today's episode covers a bit of the bad and the ugly, with a surprising turn.
Welcome back to another one. Wanted to talk to you about overcoming challenges again. Here we go. So there's been a few little hurdles in the way that I've been trying to get through. So number one is this dump truck. So that it's a learning curve because usually what I like, and also I'm going to back up a little bit. When I first bought my chainsaw, it was a steel chainsaw, and I chose steel over Husqvarna because there's Ace Hardware. They sell steel chainsaws, and they're all over the place where I'm at. And so if I need to get my chain sharpened or the chainsaw serviced, it's really easy to do so, because they're all over the place. It's really easy to get to. So versus like if you buy Husqvarna, like I could think of like one store maybe, and that's probably online in my area, and so it would be really difficult to get it serviced if I needed to get anything worked on. So the same thing with like when you're buying equipment for junk removal. Like if you buy a truck, like you can pretty much get like discount tires all over here, and they do like if you buy tires, you can do a guarantee, like where they just do free patchwork, which I've done so many times with my trailer last year and my vehicles, where I've ran over nails, and so they just come and they just patch it up for free. It's got a warranty on the tires. So anyway, so pros and cons. Because you're hauling around a trailer in a truck, but if you get a dump truck like the Isuzu ones or whatever, the one I have, so I ran into a little snag with the tire, so I hit a nail, but it's still, I've been driving around because I have jobs. But I've got a nail in the tire. I think I hit it when I was at the landfill, and so I noticed I was at the gas station and I looked at the tire and I saw the nail in there, but the tire's not flat, it's still good. But I've had all these jobs, like I didn't want to, like I wanted to get it fixed as soon as possible, but at the same time I had to get these jobs done. And so I made a ton of calls. It was a huge learning curve. I was calling all these places. I stopped by a discount tire, and the first place said, "Oh, well, our equipment's not big enough to take this tire off. Like, try this other discount tire." I said, "Okay." So I went there. They're like, because he said, they have this place specifically. He gave me a specific location. He said they'll have the equipment big enough to take the tire off and get you taken care of. I said, "Okay." So I went over there, and I had them look at the tire, and they still couldn't. They said, "No, we can't. We don't have equipment big enough to take this tire off." So then I went to Big O Tires, and he said that they could probably take the wheel off, but they can't put it back on. So they weren't able to help me either. So, but one guy, he said, "Hey, try Love's Truck Stop." And I said, "Okay." So I went over there, and this is where they get the semi serviced. And so I don't know, I just, like, my truck's big, but it's not that big. It's light duty, it's not heavy duty. And so I went over there, and the lady, she looked at the tire, and she goes, "You're in luck, we have one tire like this, but it has to get replaced." And she goes, "That'll be $800, please." And so in my mind, I'm like, "Well, can't we just get it patched?" But anyway, so while they were looking up in the system when they could get me done, I was just did a quick little chat GPT, and chat said, that place, they will always just try to replace the tire because they don't want to deal with the liability of patching up a tire. So I didn't want to do that. So I said, okay, let me hold off because I already had an appointment with another place, Next Star. I think it's called Next Star Truck Service. And so I'm like, oh, they'll for sure be able to help me out. And so I previously scheduled an appointment for Saturday. They got me in. And so I held off. This is a Friday, so I just decided to let's just go ahead and go to the appointment the next day. So the next day, I went. They took a look at the tire, and I'm like, and these guys specialize in getting Isuzu dump trucks serviced. There's supposedly. So I went there. And he looked at the tire and he said, "This tire's too big for us to put back on." He said, "We would have to take the wheel off, take it to another company, and then we usually just have them patch it up and then give it back to us." And at the same time, I had to get windshield wipers replaced, and I still have to get one of the tail lights fixed. And so he looked at the tail light and said they could fix it, but he needs to look into it because they weren't able to do it because it's Saturday. They don't have the right people or the right equipment. I'm not sure what's going on, but at least they were able to get the windshield wipers replaced. And so anyway, so that I got to get the windshield wipers and the tail light fixed anyway because the DOT inspection that I think that's coming at some point. Like they do an inspection, and I got to make sure that everything passes smoothly. But I'm still waiting on this tire, so I'm finally here. It is, the beginning of the week. Found a company. Hopefully, they will be able to get it patched up. I was thinking when I was at the Love's truck stop shop, I was thinking, there's no way I have to sink $800 every time I get a nail in the tire. This is going to happen all the time. So anyway, luckily the Next Star place gave me a recommendation of another company I could go to get it patched up anytime that happens. Because these tires, I mean, they're great tires. Like, they should last for a while, and these tires are not cheap on these type of trucks. So, it's almost like if you're starting out, it's almost worth just getting a normal truck and trailer, normal tires. But, pros and cons. If you want to hire employees, and you got to find somebody that can maneuver a trailer, and if you're in a location that's tight quarters, that's challenging too. But anyway, so sometimes you just got to do some research, and once you find a place, then you just got to go through the kind of the learning curve of figuring out how they can help. Anyway, so that's challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 is we have a water line that's leaking, so I'm trying to get that looked at. And so anyway, all kinds of little things going on that you just have to get figured out. But anyway, yeah, so just do your due diligence, do your research, and once you figure out how to get your stuff taken care of, then it makes it a whole lot easier. All right, so wanted to give you a little update. I think I left you hanging along with me about kind of the tire situation. So I was able to take it to this place called T&W Tire, and holy cow, it was some good news. So I went there, and they took a look. They took they had the stuff to take the tire off, and they came back and they said, "Hey, like the nail that's in your tire, it's like this tiny little nail that's just poking the tread just a little bit, like not even a quarter inch." So that's why I was driving around with it, no issues, because the nail isn't long enough to even puncture the tire to get the air out. So anyway, even greater news is that place, like if you want to replace an entire tire, they charge like $160 a tire versus like $800 or something crazy like that Love's Truck Stop was quoting me. Anyway, that's kind of that's kind of what I'm going through today. But also I have this tail light that's out and that needed to get fixed. I couldn't figure out, like, nowhere that I went said they could work on that because it's part of a container, not the actual Isuzu truck. And so this place said they can fix those lights as well for super cheap, and on top of that, they can do a DOT inspection because I need to get that done. Anyway, so things are looking good, and I'm pretty excited about that. So, because for a second I thought, holy cow, if I'm going to operate this truck, I have to sink $800 a tire. That didn't seem right. And I'm sure a lot of you guys listening, have an idea how much maintenance costs for that kind of stuff, and I'm sure you probably thought that's not accurate for those outlandish quotes. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. And also the at home, the water line's getting worked on, so they're going to install it right outside the barn that I have, because the water spigot I have was installed inside. So if they were to replace it, they'd have to tear up concrete and do all that. So they're just going to put it outside a little bit cheaper. So anyway, we're getting problem solved one by one. I just did 2 little jobs this morning, and I'm headed to a bigger job this afternoon, and then I've got an estimate to get to right after that. And then there's one other thing I was going to mention. What was the other thing? Got a blank on that. I guess I'm going to start doing some more posting stuff. I haven't really done much of that for marketing. I've done a lot of advertising, like on the paid side, but I haven't done much on the posting, like Facebook groups, and just pumping out, my brand out there. So just getting it out there on the socials and doing all that. So I just remembered why I drew a blank, but I just remembered. So today, the 100th review was placed by the latest customer. So I shared that on the social media, and pretty excited about that. Milestone. I know that it's important to get as many reviews as possible, and I guess I can go into that another episode of what reviews can do for your business. But anyway, that was pretty exciting to get the 100th on the board. So if you have any questions on how to get reviews, just let me know. But anyway, that's all I got for today.